Hi, sixth graders. This is going to give you directions on how to complete the digital online stations for the engineering design process. So you're going to click on the assignment in Schoology, and then yours looks a little different. You'll click on where it says My Document, and a slideshow like this will come up. Okay. This first part, after you finish each section, you can just slide you're done into it. So if you finish this first one, you can just slide the star into it just so that you know that you're done if you want to. Okay. So this is the digital version of the stations that we did in class. So with the watch it, read it, explore it, organize it, illustrate it, and assess it. So I'm just going to go through each station kind of quickly. So you do need to be in edit mode, and you can type right on these sheets. Okay, so the first one is the watch it. So you're going to go to the YouTube link and you're going to watch the video. As you're watching the video, you're going to answer the questions. So number one, why is it important to follow the engineering design process before building a prototype? And you're going to type that answer right here by number one in this box. Okay, do your best. This is more graded just on if you're putting some thought into it. So don't worry too much about being incorrect. Question two, you're going to type right here, what does she mean when she says all engineers fail many times before they eventually succeed? And step three, write down the steps of the engineering design process. The next station after that is the read it. So as you are reading through this, and it actually goes on to the next page, there's a couple of pages of it, you are going to, it says jot down notes or drawings that will help you remember the meanings of these words. You can use the sketch scribble button in the toolbar. That's only on PowerPoint, not on Google Drive, so that doesn't work. So you can just type in there if you wanted to insert a drawing, you could do that as well. All right, so I'm going to read through this to you right now. If you want to read it on your own, you can go ahead and just fast forward through it. So, are you interested in designing machines and using math and science to solve problems? If so, you might make a great engineer. There are many different types of engineers, but they all face problems using the engineering and design process. This is a system for considering problems and creating solutions to them. For example, Venice, a city in Italy, faces a huge problem. The city is built on a group of islands linked by canals and bridges. Tides cause boats to beach, then water levels dip. Rising tides cause the city to flood. Over time, buildings become damaged by irregular water levels and erosion. Ultimately, the city is in danger of sinking. Italian engineers have a big question on their mind. How can they protect the city from tides? Defining the problem is the first step in the engineering design process. Once these engineers knew what problem they were trying to solve, they could begin figuring out how to solve it. This includes doing research, exploring factors that could affect the solution. Engineers also try to learn from others who have tried to solve similar problems. For example, dams have been used to help control water flow. Could a creative dam be used in Venice? This thought process is the beginning of developing possible solutions. The next step in solving the problem at hand. An important part of this process is brainstorming. This means collecting different creative ideas. Also, engineers must discuss how and why various ideas might or might not work. Once engineers have a possible solution in mind, they must design the solution. This could involve exploring the problem even more. Also, they must discuss factors that affect the plan. Engineers often draw diagrams and plan materials to create a specific plan. This is an important stage of the engineering and design process. Having a solid plan in the beginning helps to save time, money, and effort later. The Venetian engineers knew they needed to design a solution that would help protect the city for many years. However, they didn't want to spend too much money building the solution. Once engineers have designed their potential solutions, they can build a prototype. This is a beginning model. Once built, they can test the prototype. This helps determine if the solution will actually work. Sometimes they discover issues with the solution. In this case, building a small version of a dam and testing it with real water can help the Italian engineers determine if their idea will be effective. After testing the prototype, engineers must evaluate the solution. They will ask themselves what works, what doesn't work, how can this idea be improved? At this point, the engineering and design process becomes a cycle, where engineers go back to previous steps. They may change the prototype and test it again. Sometimes they'll build a new prototype. If necessary, engineers may need to go all the way back to designing a new solution. As far as the Venice Tide Barrier project goes, engineers are still working hard to make it a reality. An important end step in this process is communicating results, sharing the status of the process with others. So far, we know the Venice Tide Barrier should consist of moving barriers that help protect against high water levels. Unfortunately, it has already taken decades of work and will cost several $billions in total. The engineering and design process can be lengthy, but it helps us solve some of the biggest problems our world faces. Okay, so make sure you put your answers into there. The next one, these questions go along with that reading, so you might need to kind of look back and type your answers over in the side. You can just type the letter of the answer. Explore it Part 1. You have been tasked with the job of building a tower made of just paper. Your tower must be at least 20 centimeters high and support a small object such as a phone or remote control for 5 seconds. So your materials allowed are 10 sheets of standard copy paper or any paper you have at home and some tape. In the space to the left, answer the following questions before building anything. So what do you already know about towers? I'm going to type that here. 2, what questions do you have about building a tower? And 3, draw 3 possible solutions that use the materials allowed. And you're going to draw and then insert your picture, a picture of your drawings on the next slide, not there. So on the next slide, you're going to draw 3 possible solutions. And so what you're going to do for that, it talks about how you can do it. So you can draw on your own paper, you can take a picture and upload it, or you could draw with an app like Google Draw, and then you could insert it into the document there. This is still Explore It. Start a timer for 5 minutes. So use your phone, an online timer, other timer you may have available. You're going to build your prototype and test it. So what worked, what didn't work, and how can you improve your design? And then you're going to take a picture of your final design and put it into here. So again, take a picture and insert it into there. Remember to do that. We just go to Insert Image and Upload from Computer that way. Okay. Next one is the Organize It. It says put the steps in the correct order next to their descriptions. And so these just slide, whoopsie. You got to grab them and slide to where they go. Okay. Illustrate it. It says create a flow chart illustrating the engineering and design process. Draw a picture to go with each step. Again, you can draw on a separate sheet of paper, take a picture and insert it, or you can use like Google Draw and insert it that way. Assess it. You're answering the questions and writing the letter of the correct answer in there. And assess it Part 2. So it says use the vocabulary words from Read It to complete the following sentences. So here's the vocabulary words. So you're going to read through here and type the correct answers where you think they go. And it will be these 5 words. Okay. When you're finished, submit your assignment. You are going to have 2 full days to work on this, so don't feel like it needs to be done all in one sitting. Okay. You actually have 2 days, and then on Friday, if you're still not done, you can finish it up. It will be due on Friday. Okay. So let us know if you have any questions, and have fun.